Welcome back. Till now, we were discussing about Matplotlib as a library, PyPlot as a module, part of the library, to draw different plots. We have seen the syntax in the last topic. Now it is time for us to create those plots in Python using the notebook, using the syntax that we have already discussed. And now let's execute the lines of code and understand how Matplotlib is helping us to create different plots, different charts with the data that we have. So I'm going to start with the basics. First of all, as I mentioned, Matplotlib is a library. We are going to import PyPlot from Matplotlib to create multiple charts. The most popular instance or the way we denote PyPlot is PLT. So as you can see, I have just created a single line of code to import PyPlot as PLT from Matplotlib. And I'm also importing NumPy as NP so that I can play around with arrays and create some kind of functions around arrays so that you remember one thing, Matplotlib is nothing but I'm going to create visualizations on top of the data that is stored in arrays. Data that is going to be manipulated with the help of NumPy libraries. That's why I'm importing NumPy also. Now let me execute that and import and keep it ready for my further operations. Now as I have already imported PLT and NumPy, now let me create a simple plot. So first step, I'm creating two arrays, np.array 1,8, np.array 3,10. So x and y, I have created two arrays. Now the basic thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a plot. I'm going to create a visualization with this x and y. So what is the syntax for it? As I told you earlier, PyPlot has the syntax plot. So I'm using plt.plot and I'm passing x and y as inputs to it. This is something we covered in the last topic if you remember. I'm just using the same syntax, plt.plot, x and y as inputs to it. Now the plot is created. Now I want that plot to be shown. So how can I do that? plt.show. When I click that, 1,8 and 3,10, the plot is created. Okay, so this is exactly what has been done. Now can you relate to the chart that has come out? 1, 8, 3, 10. That is 1, 3, 8, 10. That's what has been plotted here. So the two data points that we have got is used to be presented in the visual format. So 1, 3, 8, 10. Good. Now can I plot the same things without a line? Because there are only two data points here, right? As you can see, 1, 3 and 8, 10. I've just plotted it with a line. Can I plot it without a line? I can do that. If that is what is my business requirement, I can very well do that. So I can draw 2 points in the diagram, one at a position 1, 3 and in the position 8, 10 from the arrays that I have defined. All I have done is I have defined one additional marker, that is O. When I do this, automatically the line is removed and only those 2 points are plotted. As you can see, I've just put x, y, O. So that plots the graph for me. I hope you're able to get that. Now in the same way, can I plot multiple points? Because I just showed you 2 points. Is there a way that I can plot multiple points? I can very well do that. How? Let's create values and let's try it out hands-on. X equal to 5, 2, 9, 4, 7. Y equal to 10, 5, 8, 4, 2. I have created 2 arrays. Now I am going to plot these 2 arrays by passing x and y as inputs. And then I am showing the plot. So nothing has changed. I have just used the same syntax what I used for 2 points. I'm using the same for 5 points now. Let me execute and see how it works. Hooray! The same chart we have got, but multiple points plotted. Now I'll ask you a question from the previous exercise. Can you remove this line and can you just plot these points alone? How will you do that? Just by adding a comma and putting an O with an apostrophes and then executing it, you'll be able to get the points without the line. Good. I hope you are with me so far. Now, can I use markers? So I can use the keyword argument marker to emphasize each point with a specified marker. So what is it? I'll use marker equal to O. You will understand the meaning of marker here. So I've created an array 3, 8, 1, 10. I'm using Y, marker equal to O. Let me execute this and show it across to help you understand marker. So what I've done is, for these 4 points, 3, 8, 10, 1 and 10, I've just marked it with O. Can I change the marker? Let me show it across to you. Let me say I want to mark it out with asterisk instead of O. Did you see the change in the marker? From O, it has become asterisk now. All the points have been marked with asterisk. So I can change the marker anytime by using this particular syntax. Play around with this. You can use any kind of letters there. There are so many options that are available for you to play around with these markers. Explore that. Can I change the line? What I'm seeing is a plain simple line. Can I use a dashed line? I can do that. Can I use a dotted line? I can do that. How do I use a dotted line? All I have to do is, I just have to define the line style as dotted. So same array, I'm just saying y dot line style equal to dotted. Now let me draw this line. You'll be able to see the difference between the line that I've executed earlier and the line that I've created now. Do you see the dotted line here? So this is because I've just added line style equal to dotted. If I put dashed, what does it come? I get a dashed line. So you can change the different lines. The styles of the lines can be changed. The color of the line can be changed. So you have all the liberty to play around and create multiple different plots. So usually when you want to analyze the data, when you're analyzing different types of data for a particular business problem, you need to have these options of playing around with these plots. Let's explore more. Obviously, when we are talking about graphs, labels are very important. How do you create labels for a plot? Check this out. With PyPlot, you have something called as X label and Y label, which you can use along with PyPlot to define the labels for both X and Y axis. So how do I do that? So I'm creating two different arrays, X and Y arrays, and I'm creating a plot X, Y. And then I'm labeling it. X label is average pulse, Y is calorie burnage. So the plot that is going to come out, I'm clearly calling it out like X-axis stands for average pulse, Y-axis stands for calorie burnage. Now let me execute and show that across. How does it work? You see the labels clearly defined, calorie burnage and average pulse. So this is something you should create for every chart so that it brings clarity to the person who is visualizing the data. I'll take a pause here. Try all these aspects, code it yourself, run it yourself, debug it yourself, and ensure that you are learning each line of code that has been written here. We'll connect again in the next topic and continue with different other operations that you can do with the charts. So see you in the next topic.